Hey, T, what's going on? Chris here. Want to bring you all an update today of XRP. We're going to be looking at XRP on the 4-hour time frame, and right now, guys, we're at 23 cents. We're up 1.2%, and what we're trying to do is push to that 24-cent range right now. And guys, the main thing that I'm going to be looking at here, I've talked about this for a while with you. We pay attention to trends on this channel. I'm all about short-term, intermediate term, and then those longer primary trends. That's what I want to pay a lot of attention to, are trends and the candle formations with those trends. But what we're looking at here is a 6-month downtrend, and now we are coming up here and we're testing that 6-month downtrend, and this is going to be probably one of the most important days for XRP, because we're going to see if we see rejection off this downtrend line and we start falling back, or if this is the area where we're going to make that next move up and try to blast out through this downtrend line. Guys, if we do make it out of this downtrend line and it comes on continued heavy volume, we definitely have a shot at coming up here around this 30 cents. This would be the next area of resistance, because what we did just recently, yesterday, we got over top of this resistance here at about 23 cents here in red. If you can take a look at that overhead resistance line, and now what's happening is we're trading up above it. But what you see here on the 4-hour time frame is a lot of wicks, so there's a lot of profit taking place at this trend line here, and sometimes what you'll have there is that profit taking, and what we could see, guys, here is more consolidation sideways before we potentially make that next move to the upside. Or we could come back down here and test this area around 22 cents, back test that, set a higher low, and then potentially break this upper trend line from there. That's what I'm looking for, at least. On the 4-hour time frame, we're up above our 20, our 40, and our 50 moving average, so that's a really good thing. And what I'm paying a lot of attention to in the short term here, guys, is this uptrend here. If you can see it, this white trend line. These are our higher lows that have been coming in. And what you can also do is actually branch off as well. You can do a fanning technique with your trend line. So what we'll do is draw this next trend line. So this is the one we want to stay up above as well. And guys, that's how I'll play it. I'll play this one first and see if we get support off that, or if we start breaking through that, and then I'd go down to the next one. But right now we're just consolidating up above this area, this resistance area that we just broke. But what I said here is what I'm a little nervous about is just these wicks here, because that could show that we may have some type of retracement, maybe down a cent or two before we make that next move up. And guys, this also came on a lot of volume. You can see this move, and typically when you have those volume climaxes sometimes like that, you can have a little bit of a retracement afterwards. And I just wanted to give you an example here when we're looking back. So just like this one right here, you can see this is very high volume. The stick of volume is about the same height that we had here, and that was this push. And then after this push, we went from around 48 cents back to about 35 cents before we attempted it again. So a lot of times when you see these volume climaxes, it's something that you want to pay attention to, because it can be that last little bit before you have a retracement and then you start moving again. You can see it right here. Guys, you can see a big stick of volume here. We pushed up really hard, really fast, made it to 32, and then we dropped all the way back down to 20. I'm not saying that's going to happen now, but that's something you definitely want to put on your radar when you see these climaxes. Just like Bitcoin when it hit $20,000, if you go look at that, the last day, basically, or the last week, you'll see a massive stick of volume, and that was basically the hands, or the changing hands, where professionals are selling out at that area, and a lot of what we'll call the dumb money, guys, is buying in that area. So you have a lot of changing hands, which makes the volume seem, or makes the volume rise exponentially. So that's something you always want to look at. But for me, it's getting out of this yellow downtrend line, guys. I love playing trend line breaks, and if we can get a trend line break after being in a downtrend for literally about 6 months since June, this could be a massive move for us, and I'd be looking up around that 30-cent region. But right now, this is the spot I'm looking at. So this red trend line and then this white trend line, if we do start having retracements, as well as this area around 22 cents. But like I said, guys, we start breaking out of here, we'd start looking up to around that 30 cents, and we'll just work our way up here. I'm going to put in some resistance lines for us. And this is how I like to do it, at least. I like to work my way up, really look to see what we're going to have to deal with, because remember, resistance that you break, you then want it to become support. So say you break up through resistance, you would want to back test that, have it hold as support, and then make the next move up. So I'd look at around 30 cents, guys, 31 cents in here, depending if you're going off the real bodies or the wicks. And then I'd look up to around, we'd say 33 cents, which is going to be a significant area. And then I would look up around 40 cents. And then it's going to be up here at that high of around 50 cents. So about 48, 50 cents that we made it to. But that's the power of this market, guys. We've been in a downtrend for 6 months here. It took us 6 months to go from 50 cents all the way down to about 17 cents. And then literally in the matter of, we'd call it 3 weeks to a month, we went from that 17 cents all the way up to around 25 cents. So that's just, this market can run so hard and so fast and can be so aggressive to both the upside and the downside. And then there's other times where it can really cool down and there's not a ton happening for quite a while. But that's what it's about, is changing that trend. What we don't want to see here, guys, as we're looking at this trend change down here, we don't want it to be one of these things where we start moving up right here and then we kind of had a rounded top and then we started to sell off. I like the fact that we were having some impulse waves coming up here. This one was just a little bit slower of a grind into that rounded top. Then we had the big dump. So we're just going to have to see what Bitcoin does as well. A lot of times Bitcoin will determine. I know we're having a little bit of an altcoin surge here. Altcoins are doing better than Bitcoin, but I still really want to keep my eye on Bitcoin. I plan on doing a Bitcoin video later today. And also, for the people who are still here, I wanted to ask you, did you get any family members into cryptocurrency, and what are they saying right now about it? Are they upset at you for getting them into cryptocurrency? Are they buying more? I mean, what's their stance right now? I would just love to hear other people's opinions on the cryptocurrency space, and like when you got in and what you were thinking, and did your trading change? Are you still a hodler? That's the type of stuff I'd love to hear from you guys. But this is what I wanted to look at. Just be careful at this level up here, guys. We want to see if we can break this downtrend level, see if we can get up above it, maybe even back test it, and then make that move again. But XRP is actually a little bit behind some of the other coins that were really pumping hard yesterday. So we're going to see if XRP gets some more pumps. I know yesterday was about a 12% pump, which was great, but there were some coins who were going off, guys. 90% Dash, when we were looking at that inverse head and shoulders, down around $50. It's up now around 120 something the last time I looked at it. So some coins just went absolutely parabolic, and we're going to see if XRP is the next one to do that here in the days and weeks to come. But I want to put this out there, guys. You get some from this video, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I appreciate y'all being here with me today. Just watch that downtrend line and let's see what happens. Remember, it's all about the trends, guys. Short, intermediate, and longer term trends. God bless you all. Take care.